So, hello everyone, I'm here with Carlos again and would like to talk to you about what's new for Faith in the core book that we're making. So, we're really happy about it because the first rulebook that we published didn't go into much detail about anything really. It was just like a base framework that people could use to make their own stories. But we've gotten more and more requests to go into a lot more detail with the setting and also with the system. And we would like to talk about what we made for the setting with the core book.
Yeah. So basically the first book we made, we had 50 pages of lore.
Yeah.
So the whole universe was very very large. We could only go into so much detail into each of those subjects.
Yeah.
And about each of those species. But we have taken the liberty with this book because it's way bigger to make that tons of times bigger.
So yeah, the core section was like 10 pages or something like that.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be like 100. So you're not only going to know about the Corvo economy is run by mega corporations. You will know which mega corporations, what do they do, what specific enterprises are within those corporations, who is the CEO, who is the main shareholders, do they have any conflict. You will be able to help one against the other or whatever. You will be,
And basically it won't be just lore, like information out there that the GM reads and then you don't actually see on the table when you're playing. Each of those main characters will appear in adventures because we have written about them personally, about their struggles, about their needs. So many of them have conflicts with each other. Many of them need help. Basically, there is so many important characters in the universe who could use the help from a bunch of discreet adventurers that you can get into trouble in the major plots of the universe of Faith. Don't just play on the sidelines.
So scattered through this core book you will find a bunch of adventure seeds, which are like short, like maybe a couple of paragraphs worth of text. But they will give you an idea of how to run an adventure with those characters in that specific part of the setting. Like, I would like to help Seon Magno do something, and he's the CEO of one of the megacorps. So what would that be? And I think this is a very, very interesting tool for GMs, especially nowadays that people doesn't have a lot of time to prepare for sessions. So this is very useful.
Yeah. And when you're reading the book, you get the impression that you can use most of the things you are reading.
Yeah.
And not only that, but when the characters choose to help one main player within the plot, they may gain trouble with another one.
Yeah, maybe
because those guys are on conflict. So that I think a GM can get a lot of good dynamics and interesting stories out of that.
It's even if you don't use them like directly, but it's a very good source of inspiration.
Yeah.
Lots of ideas that you can use.
And about other than that, we have finally gotten into detail about the planets and the space stations of the different species. So you will have tons of little details about those places, illustrations, and creatures that live there, and things like that should also come handy. So actually in the book I think there is a total of like 75 characters, NPCs with all the stats, and most of them have actually a little bit of story as well. So some of them are like a police officer, right? But others are like you said, the CEO of a company,
like a named character.
Yeah, or the boss of a mafia in Tiantang or something like that.
Yeah, and something else that I really like about the book is at the end of each species we have a couple of pages of how to roleplay with that species, like in their
society.
Within their society, like how their economy works, how you can represent your profession within that species, and how's the economy like.
Yeah, the economy based on your character. It's not like the grand scale of the economy.
Yeah,
It's
no, like-
how does it affect you personally?
Yeah.
So, and because the core and the Ithcal, for example, are so different economically speaking, you will get very different adventures from each of them. So, for example, in the Ithcal state, all your basic needs are always taken care of. You don't
Yeah.
have to care about those ever, right? But you cannot make a fortune either.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you cannot buy things, right?
You cannot buy things. Basically, depending on how good you are at your job, the state will give you more or less of a budget that you
Okay.
can have. Basically, you rent things from the state,
Okay, yeah.
and for example, they say you have 1,000 credits of rent,
Yeah.
and you can, for as long as you're getting equipment based on your profession,
Yeah, you can
you can
like-
always swap it.
Okay, yeah, you
And-
can
and-
borrow it,
Yeah,
right?
and that's pretty cool. Say you're going on an adventure and you're a soldier, so you say, oh, this is more of a stealthy kind of operation.
Okay.
So I will give this suit back to the army of the state, and I will get this other one that works better for this mission.
Okay.
So the state is a pretty cool place to do missions for the state, and if you're an adventurer that you just want to do straight adventuring, right? Mission after mission,
Yeah,
things like that, and you don't want to bother with the day-to-day kind of thing. While in the Corvo sphere, where the Corvos live, basically you have to make a living or you
Yeah.
may starve to death, right? But if you do it properly, you can become proper rich. You can own a planet if you want to.
Okay, so you can definitely buy things and they're yours
Yeah,
for good.
yeah, unless they steal them from you.
Yeah.
And yeah, so basically that's a little bit of an overview
Yeah.
about what we wanted to do with this book and to bring to you guys. Based on the setting, we'll have to talk about the rules in another video.
All right. So thanks for watching, and yeah, please feel free to leave us a comment or ask any questions you might have online through our social media. Yeah. And see you in the next video.
Bye bye.